Damn, Her did this?
I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
Believe that most women in the West become marriage minded when it's too late.
Yes, I do, and a lot of this has been like peer reviewed and studied, and I do talk about this on my channel. And like I said, women in real life. The first part of our lives are pretty much being told men are something to be fearful of or something you're supposed to use like a utility. And then once you get into your young adult years, you're actually trying to learn about men because you didn't really learn about them in your early years. So you're learning, you're meeting with them, you're finally dating them now in your adult years. But also, you're only casually doing that because you're focused either on school, a career, or some type of business. So other things are taking priority. Once you finally finish school or your business fails or something else in your life fails, then you're thinking, okay, now I need to do something else to kind of get that check mark in my head. I'm either going to, find a relationship, buy a house, or go back to school. So a lot of women go into the same circular life experiences until they reach a certain age where they're like, okay, I'm ready to start hitting those final markers of family and children. And again, for a lot of women, it just becomes too late at that time because you put your focus on other things earlier in life. And unfortunately, when you do that, you can't really go back. You can't go back and get your youth and your time back because it's essentially gone. And I understand, I believe one of the ladies said it's never too late to learn, but sometimes it's too late to go back and try it again in a different order, or to prioritize family first and then later on, do the school and do the business and your other ventures. Sometimes things have to take priority, and our life experiences and our life outcomes are determined by the choices we make.
All right. Jay, what say you?
Okay, yes, I do believe that American women, Western women do become marriage minded and they do want to seek marriage later on in life. We are taught, um, Black women to be exact, to, um, you know, live your best self when you're young. In your 20s, you're still young. You still have all the time in the world to do this and do that. So it definitely makes women prioritize marriage later on in life. And by that age, there's not a lot of choices to choose from because of in the men that are choosing them are not what they want it to be because they waited so later on in life. And I blame a lot of the stuff like on our parents and society and shows and all this stuff. It's unfortunate. I do agree with Kris when she said that it's never too late to learn. However, sometimes I do believe that you get like one chance in life. Like, what if that was your only chance? What if God only permitted you to have that only chance to work it out with that man, or that was your husband, but um, you wasn't trying to get married so soon, or all the excuses that women give these days. Well, I'm still young, or X, Y, and Z. So the question, yes, they do seek marriage way later in life. What did Kevin Samuel say? What
I'm
is it?
sorry, what
No
was that?
man's land? I said, what did Kevin Samuel say? No man's land?
Oh yeah, no
I
man's
think that's
land.
the age. Yeah. Yeah. They do want to seek it during that time.
Yeah. Yeah. No man's land. Absolutely. Greed. Okay. All right. Um Kris. Did I ask you, Kris? I'm sorry. Okay, let's go, Kris.
Yes, my answer is yes. I'm actually reading a book right now called Adam and Eve After the Pill, and she talks about it. In studies, it's referred to as suspended maturity or suspended/delayed adulthood. And unfortunately, I think The issue is that people equate adulthood with freedom, and they think that with freedom you're fulfilled. But really, adulthood equals responsibilities, and when you're accomplishing and meeting your responsibilities, then you're fulfilled. I don't think people realize how fulfilling a life you can live when you are connected with somebody else, and a big part of your day is just trying to figure out how you can make their life easier, how you can make their life so much better and so much brighter. And then, having children if you're able, and then raising them to be successful, positive contributions to society. I think there's something so much more fulfilling about that. I don't think people truly understand what freedom looks like, and what fulfillment looks like. And because of that, they keep pushing it off, thinking that their careers are the only things that can provide that for them. But your career, you are so replaceable there. If you die tomorrow, if you get sick tomorrow, they might write you a card. They might tell your family condolences. They probably won't. Most likely they won't, and they will replace you within 6 months. But your family, you're never replaced there. You're never replaced as a husband or a wife or a daughter or a son. But for some reason, we've been convinced that is what we're supposed to put off. Like typically, you do the things that kind of have like an expiration date first, right? You can go to school whenever. My closest friend in college was 52. He had his family. He decided to go to school later in life. I'm not telling everyone to go to school at 50, but what I'm saying is the schools aren't going anywhere, but your chance to have a family, to have children, is not going to be there forever. It is definitely temporary, and it's definitely a privilege that you should take more seriously. If you even have a small feeling that you might want children someday, you should start prioritizing it as soon as possible.
I completely agree. Okay. Last but not least, Stephanie, and I know that you do have to go, but definitely appreciate you being here. So let's hear what you have to say.
I think it's sometimes, I don't know how we don't think that we can balance like school and relationship. Like, I don't get that while other people are doing that, you know. Also, like our family members, since a lot of our aunts and cousins, they're older women that don't have any men or, left their man. Sometimes the words that they say are negative towards like relationship, like Breann was talking about, like our peers, like our family saying, oh girl, you don't need a man, just get in your school and take care of yourself first and be loyal to your money and your degree because they'll never leave you, and all this, like all this stuff gets in your head. Like it's just comes from fear, lack, and things that they haven't seen, or the successes that they weren't able to accomplish with their relationships, and they project that onto the young people in the family, like the young women and the young men. And I just think it's really unfortunate. And so like sometimes they will listen to those words, and then when it's time when they look up and biological clock is ticking, you're like, oh my God, how do I do this? But you don't know how to, interact with a man. You're not feminine, you're masculine, because you put your education, you put your money, you put your career, that you can't even nurture a feminine, like, or a way that a man would want to be attracted to you in that way. And they don't want a person that eggs are halfway done, sorry. But
I get you.
And also they just have like these crazy standards, like I put my career, this money, so I need this guy that's making way more than me, instead of saying like, well, like you said, the fireman down the street will probably give me what I need. But they just hold off with this delusion, and they never get anywhere.
Right.
Yeah. And they might freeze their eggs. I don't know. They just be doing some
Oh boy.
stuff out here.
Oh boy. All
I
right.
I know this. I have a cousin. So yes.
Oh boy. Your cousin, she froze her eggs?
Yes.
Oh man.